Well, hello on this Tuesday morning. Snow is on our doorstep, as well as ice for some folks. We have a winter storm warning that goes across the metro, surrounded by winter weather advisories. And then also in south central Minnesota, we do have an ice storm warning because we're expecting the possibility of a coating of ice down there in that south central part of the state. So we'll show you areas most at risk of seeing some of that. But I want to talk about a couple of other weather tidbits. First, of course, we have Eta, but we also have now Theta. 29th named storm, a record now for the tropics here in the Atlantic. The previous record was 28 named storms back in 2005. We broke that now officially last night with Theta, but it isn't going to really be going anywhere affecting the U.S. It's going to be kind of wandering in the eastern Atlantic, but we are going to keep our eye on Eta. It is going to be potentially producing some mainly flooding concerns in the south. Luckily, the Gulf of Mexico has been cooling off, but also a milestone today, a tragic one, the sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald, a reminder of how powerful storms can kick up in a hurry here in November. And not that long ago, 45 years ago, our capabilities of predicting these kind of storms were not as good. So 20-foot wave, 60-mile-an-hour winds on the Big Lake with the Edmund Fitzgerald. So just a powerful storm, and again, tragic consequences. But one of the good things to come out of that was better weather technology and buoys that were deployed across the lake. Cold start to our day. We are in the just below freezing in the metro, 20s and even teens in northwestern Minnesota. So we've got the cold in place now, of course. We all noticed that unless you haven't been out in 24 hours. And a big swath of moisture coming up from the south. And this is connected all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. So you hear us talk about that a lot with these storms. Ample supply of Gulf moisture coming right from the south, feeding into the system. And then we've got the setup of cold air to squeeze that moisture out, condense it out in the form of snow and a little rain and freezing precipitation further to the south. So it is just to the south, moving into the metro here by probably midday, late morning, early afternoon. We'll start to see the snow fly here. Could start out as a bit of a mix, especially if you're in the south and southeast metro, where temperatures aloft mainly are going to be just warm enough to see that potential for a mixed bag of a little precip, at least early on. Initially. So we'll take you through time here and show you what we're expecting with the storm system. So again, the purple and pinks, those are mixed precip or even that possibility of some freezing rain. Blue is all snow as it marches north here through the morning into the midday today. And again, southeast metro could see a little bit of that mix, and that could cut down on some totals there. But further south, that's where we're expecting that ice to form in that south central part of the state. And then again, on the northern and western sides of the system is where it's going to be cold enough to stay all in the form of snow. That's all this dark blue. Heaviest snow mid-afternoon into the early evening hours, so right in that 3 to 6, 7 p.m. time frame is when we'll probably see our heaviest snowfall rates in the Twin Cities, and then it lifts north, probably wrapping up still, it looks like by about midnight tonight. But again, this is ice accumulation that we're expecting potentially to the south. We'll show you the snow totals actually first, because this model in particular is a little more conservative for the metro because it does bring in more of that mix. So just a couple of inches in the southeast metro, but then further west is where we get into some of those higher totals. And then southwestern Minnesota seems to be the change over the last 24 hours where we're expecting maybe the bullseye in this system to develop more, where we could see 6+ inches of snow. So again, ice accumulation, potential for up to 1/4 inch of ice here in that south central part of the state. So places like Mankato and then further east towards Owatonna. So that's why we're watching those areas for ice accumulation here through the morning and midday, because temperatures at the surface are below freezing, but above the ground it's above freezing. So it'll fall as that super cooled rain that freezes on contact. Snowfall, that's the big thing for most of us though, further north and west. This is the European model. Heaviest snowfall bullseye to the southwest. And then through the metro, it brings in slightly lower totals, but that heavier band is through us. So it gives us those 4, 5, 6 inch amounts. This is the American model. A little bit less for us, but still looking at a good 4 inches, 5 inches. But notice the trend. Most of the models have the heaviest snow just slightly to our west, where it's going to be guaranteed all snow. Again, still a bit of a question that we could see some mixing or maybe the edge of the lighter snowfall rates in the southeast metro that could affect things there. But all the models generally have that trend. Heavier snow to the southwest. So I think that's where we're going to see things pile up a bit more, is just west and southwest of most of the metro, outside of the 494, 694 loop. Here's a look at all the different models, just to give an example of what we're looking at. A wide range here, but generally you look at the mean or median of the models, 3 to 5 inches for, again, right within the 494, 694 loop. So I think 4 inches is a pretty good bet for most of Minneapolis, St. Paul proper. And then this is what it was looking like yesterday, to give you a little perspective, a 2 to 4 inch range. So models have ticked up over the last 24 to 36 hours. Here's what I'm expecting. So northern and western suburbs, closer to those 5 inch amounts, potentially that 3 to 5 inch range, but in the southeast metro and south metro, maybe 2 to 4 inches. So right in between, again, looking at a good 4, maybe 5 inches for Minneapolis, St. Paul, and then that heavier band off to the southwest where we could see over a half foot, and then closer to 2 to 4 inches up around Duluth and the North Shore, where it will continue to snow into the overnight tonight. But it is going to be pretty chilly here, not getting out of the mid-30s today, so it will be a wet snow as we climb just above freezing potentially. Sunshine is back tomorrow. Another shot of some snow showers. Could see some light accumulations again on Thursday, and then heading into the weekend, closer to normal temperatures and maybe a little rain-snow mix here Saturday into early Sunday.